Welcome to our channel HD Rare Coin 111, your go-to spot for uncovering the incredible world of rare US coins. If you've ever wondered if your old pennies, nickels, or dimes are worth more than face value, you're about to find out. In today's video, we'll be exploring some truly rare coins and their shocking values. And if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. So let's jump in. Top 1. We're going to talk about a rare and highly sought-after coin, the 1965 Washington Quarter. While it may look like just another regular coin, if you know what to look for, you could be sitting on a hidden treasure worth thousands of dollars, and in some cases, even more than that. Let's start with a bit of history to understand why the 1965 Washington Quarter is so special. 1965 was a significant year in the history of U.S. coinage. It was the first year the U.S. Mint stopped using silver for most of its regular coinage due to rising silver prices and a coin shortage. Prior to this, quarters, dimes, and half dollars were made with 90% silver. However, in 1965, the U.S. government opted for a more cost-effective copper-nickel-clad composition for quarters and dimes, which marked a dramatic shift in the nation's coinage. So, you might be wondering, what makes a 1965 quarter so valuable if it's not made of silver? The truth is, while most 1965 Washington quarters are made from this new copper-nickel blend, some were accidentally struck using silver. These coins, which are often referred to as silver error quarters, are incredibly rare and highly valuable. The error happened because a small number of silver planchets, the metal discs that get struck to make coins, were mistakenly mixed in with the new copper-nickel planchets. In other words, a limited number of 1,965 quarters ended up being made from silver, despite the fact that the government intended to phase it out. These silver error quarters are much rarer than their copper-nickel counterparts, and that rarity is what drives up their value. Coin collectors and investors know just how valuable these coins are, and as a result, they are in high demand. But it's not just any 1965 quarter that's worth money. To truly understand the value of these silver era coins, you need to look at a few important factors. The condition of the coin is paramount. A 1965 quarter in mint condition will naturally command a higher price than one that's been heavily circulated. Coins that are in pristine condition, with sharp details and minimal wear, are highly prized by collectors. Coins in MS, or mint state, condition can fetch much higher prices than those that have been worn down over time. Additionally, the more rare and pristine the coin, the more valuable it becomes. This means that a 1965 Washington quarter with the silver error, in perfect condition, could be worth significantly more than a typical coin from the same year. Some of these quarters have sold for incredible amounts, with the most valuable examples being auctioned off for figures that most people could never imagine. So, how much could a 1965 Washington quarter be worth? To give you an idea of just how high the price can go, a rare 1965 silver era quarter in excellent condition has been known to fetch prices as high as $139,000. That's right, $139,000. Just think about that for a moment. A coin that's worth only 25 cents in its regular form could, under the right circumstances, become a prized asset worth a small fortune. Imagine coming across this coin and realizing it's worth more than most people earn in a year. It's not just about finding a 1965 Washington quarter, though. You need to make sure you know what to look for. The silver era quarters aren't always obvious at first glance. They may look identical to the copper-nickel quarters that were released in 1965, so it's important to have a sharp eye when checking your change. One way to test whether your coin is made of silver is to check its weight. The silver versions of the 1965 quarter will weigh about 6.25 grams, while the copper-nickel versions weigh slightly less, around 5.67 grams. You can also check the coin's appearance. Silver coins tend to have a different shine compared to the copper-nickel variety, which can be a helpful clue. Of course, it's always a good idea to consult with a professional coin dealer or numismatist if you believe you have a 1965 silver era quarter. These experts can authenticate the coin, give you an accurate estimate of its value, and help you understand the best way to preserve or sell it. Now, I know what you're thinking. How likely is it that you'll find one of these rare silver era quarters in your collection or loose change? While it's not something you're going to come across every day, there are still many of these coins out there, and with a little patience and a keen eye, you could be the one to find one. Coin collecting is often about luck, research, and knowing what to look for, and the 1965 Washington quarter with a silver era is one of those coins that could change your life if you find it.to wrap up. The 1965 Washington quarter is not just another coin, it's a piece of history that could be worth an unbelievable amount of money. If you come across a 1965 quarter and discover that it's made of silver, it could be worth as much as $139,000. That's a huge reward for a simple coin that most people would overlook. So, next time you're going through your loose change, take a moment to check your quarters carefully. You might just be holding on to a valuable treasure waiting to be discovered. Top 2. We're going to uncover how and why this particular coin is so valuable. The 1974 Washington quarter is part of the larger series of quarters that have graced American pockets since 1932. Featuring George Washington's image on the front, this coin was minted in large numbers, and on the surface, it seems like just another typical quarter from the 1970s. But like many coins in the world of numismatics, the real value lies in a small percentage of these coins that were produced with unique characteristics or rare errors. Now, you may be asking yourself, what could possibly make a quarter from 1974 worth such a huge sum of money? Well, let's get into the details. Point 1. Key factor that can drive the value of any coin up is its rarity. While many 1974 Washington quarters were made and circulated, a few of them are special due to minting errors. Minting errors occur when something goes wrong during the production of the coin, whether it's a problem with the design, the press, or even the materials used. These errors result in coins that are distinct from the standard issue, making them highly sought after by collectors. And when it comes to the 1974 Washington quarter, the most sought after ones are those with a very rare error known as the double die variety. The double die error happens when a coin is struck more than once by the die, creating a slight but noticeable duplication of the design on the coin. In the case of the 1974 Washington quarter, this means that the image of George Washington, the word Liberty, or even the date itself may appear doubled. This error is rare enough that it causes those coins to become incredibly valuable. The double die 1974 quarters are so rare that they're highly coveted by numismatists and collectors, and it's not uncommon for them to be sold at auction for significant amounts of money. But even beyond the double die variety, the general condition of the 1974 Washington quarter can also affect its value. If a coin has been well preserved, showing little to no signs of wear, it will be more valuable than one that's been heavily circulated. Coins that are in mint condition, with sharp details and pristine surfaces, can fetch a higher price, as collectors are always on the lookout for coins that are as close to flawless as possible. Additionally, there is another factor to consider: the overall demand for specific coins. The 1974 Washington quarter, particularly the rarer, double die versions, have become highly sought after pieces in the coin collecting world. The rarer the coin, the higher the demand, and as the demand rises, so does the price. What may have started out as a common coin from the 1970s has now turned into a valuable collector's item. So, how much could a 1974 Washington quarter be worth? Well, if you happen to come across one of the rare, double die 1974 quarters in great condition, you could be holding on to a small treasure worth as much as $99,000. Yes, you read that correctly, $99,000. The value of these era coins can reach staggering heights, depending on the rarity, condition, and the level of interest from collectors. Now, you might be wondering how to identify if your 1974 Washington quarter is one of the rare ones worth so much money. The first thing to do is to closely inspect the coin. Look for any signs of doubling, especially on key parts of the design. The doubling might appear as a shadow or a faint second image alongside the original design. If you see this, you might have a double die era coin. The more pronounced the doubling, the more valuable the coin could be. Another important factor to check is the overall condition of the coin. A well-preserved 1974 quarter that looks almost brand new will always be worth more than one that has been scratched or worn from years of circulation. The highest value will be placed on coins that are graded as MS65 or higher, which indicates that they are in excellent condition. Having your coin professionally graded by a numismatist or a grading service will also help establish its value and help you determine if it is worth the large sums that collectors are willing to pay. While finding a rare error coin can seem like a stroke of luck, it's also about knowing what to look for and being aware of the value that certain variations can hold. Coin collecting isn't just about holding on to old change, it's about understanding which coins have the potential to skyrocket in value. And when it comes to the 1974 Washington quarter, the double die error coin is definitely one that can make you a small fortune. To conclude, the 1974 Washington quarter is more than just a coin from the past. It's a piece of history that can potentially make you a lot of money. If you're lucky enough to own a rare 1974 double die error quarter in excellent condition, it could be worth a jaw-dropping $99,000. That's a life-changing amount of money for a coin that you may have never thought twice about. So, take a good look at your old quarters, because you could be sitting on a rare treasure that's worth far more than you ever imagined. Top 3. We're going to explore just why the 1979 Washington quarter is so special and why this seemingly common coin could be worth a lot more than you think. First, let's talk about the background of the 1979 Washington quarter. By the late 1970s, the United States Mint had been producing the Washington quarter for nearly 5 decades, ever since it was first introduced in 1932. The quarter features George Washington, the first president of the United States, on the front, and an eagle on the reverse. However, what sets the 1979 quarter apart from other years is the subtle yet significant differences in its minting and the specific varieties that make it special. So, what exactly makes the 1979 Washington quarter stand out in terms of value? The 1979 coin was part of the United States' ongoing production of regular circulating quarters, but a small percentage of these coins were made with a rare minting error that can dramatically increase their value. Coin collectors refer to these error coins as double die varieties, and if you find one of these, you could be holding on to something worth thousands of dollars. The double die error occurs during the minting process when the die, the metal stamp used to imprint the design onto the coin, strikes the coin multiple times, leaving a doubled image on parts of the design. For the 1979 Washington quarter, this can result in a noticeable doubling of certain areas, especially on the lettering and the date. This error is most commonly seen in the mint mark or the numbers on the coin, but it can also appear in the details of George Washington's portrait. The doubled features create a faint, ghost, image next to the original design, which is highly valued by numismatists because it is a rare mistake. If you happen to find a 1979 Washington quarter with a clear double die error, you could be in possession of a coin that will fetch a significant price at auction. The more prominent and noticeable the doubling, the more valuable the coin becomes. Coins with these types of errors are highly coveted by collectors, who are always on the lookout for such rarities. The 1979 quarter is no exception, and the error coins from that year can be quite valuable, especially when they are in pristine condition. Beyond the double die error, the overall condition of the coin also plays a critical role in its worth. Like any collectible item, a well-preserved coin will always be worth more than one that's been worn down or damaged from years of circulation. If your 1979 quarter is in mint state, meaning it has little to no signs of wear, scratches, or discoloration, you could see a much higher price when you sell it. Coins with the highest grades, such as MS65 or above, are always in demand, and if your 1979 quarter has been kept in excellent condition, it could be worth much more than the standard 25 cents. Another aspect that affects the value of the 1979 Washington quarter is its rarity. While millions of these coins were minted, only a small number of them are error coins or in excellent condition. This makes the error varieties much rarer, and collectors are always on the lookout for these hidden treasures. The rarity of the double die 1979 quarters, combined with the demand among collectors, can cause the price to skyrocket, especially when one comes up for sale. Now, how much could a 1979 Washington quarter be worth if you find one with a double die error in excellent condition? Well, in some cases, these error coins have sold for as much as $84,000. Yes, $84,000. That's an enormous amount of money for a quarter that most people would overlook in their change. The key here is finding the rare double die error, along with a coin that's in the best condition possible. If your coin has these qualities, you could be looking at a potentially life-changing find. To help you identify whether your 1979 quarter is worth such a large sum of money, you should carefully inspect the coin. The doubling on the coin may be subtle, but with a close inspection, you can see faint shadows around the design, especially on the date and the word Liberty. It's important to pay attention to these details, as they're what make the coin valuable. If you're not sure, you can always take your coin to a professional dealer or a numismatist for authentication. A coin expert can help determine whether your quarter is a genuine double die error and if so, how much it might be worth. In addition to the double die varieties, there are other factors to keep in mind that could affect the value of your 1979 quarter. For instance, certain mints produced coins with slight variations in their characteristics. The Philadelphia Mint produced the majority of these coins, but there were also quarters minted in Denver and San Francisco. These different mints can sometimes make a difference in the coin's value depending on demand and the rarity of that specific mint's production. To sum up, the 1979 Washington quarter may seem like just another regular coin, but certain rare varieties can make it incredibly valuable. If you have a 1979 quarter with a double die error, especially in excellent condition, it could be worth as much as $84,000. It's an incredible potential find for anyone who has been collecting coins or even just looking through their spare change. So, the next time you come across a 1979 Washington quarter, take a closer look. You might just be holding on to a valuable treasure that could be worth a small fortune. Top 4. We're going to uncover the hidden value of the 1988 Washington quarter and why this seemingly common coin has become a rare gem for collectors and investors alike. The 1988 Washington quarter is part of the long-running Washington quarter series, which was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. This series has been in circulation ever since, with the design of George Washington's image on the obverse, front, and a variation of an eagle on the reverse. However, unlike other years in the series, the 1988 Washington quarter has something special about it. Although most quarters from this year aren't worth more than face value, there are a few specific varieties and errors that can make this coin truly valuable. The first thing to note about the 1988 quarter is that it was minted during a time when the U.S. Mint was producing millions of coins each year. In 1988, a total of over 500 million quarters were produced across various U.S. Mint facilities. So, on the surface, it would seem that the 1988 Washington quarter is just another ordinary coin. But here's the catch. Despite the large number of coins made, a few of these quarters were struck with rare errors that can make them highly valuable today. Coin collectors are always on the lookout for coins with minting errors, and the 1988 Washington quarter is no exception. One of the most sought-after varieties of this coin is known as the double die error. This error happens when the coin is struck more than once, causing a slight overlap or doubling of the design. For the 1988 quarter, this error can be seen as a doubling of the inscription, Liberty, or even the date on the coin. It's a subtle, yet distinctive flaw that makes certain 1988 quarters incredibly rare. If you manage to find one of these rare double die varieties, it can quickly become a highly valuable collector's item. Another reason why the 1988 Washington quarter could be worth a small fortune has to do with its overall condition. In the world of coin collecting, the condition of the coin plays a massive role in determining its value. A well-preserved, high-quality coin is far more valuable than one that has been heavily worn or scratched from years of circulation. When a coin is in mint condition, with sharp details and no significant signs of damage, it can command much higher prices. The higher the grade, the more money it's likely to fetch. For example, a 1988 quarter in near-perfect condition, with minimal wear and tear, could be worth significantly more than a coin that has been heavily circulated and shows signs of aging. Coins that are rated as MS65, mint state, or higher are generally considered the most valuable, and these types of quarters can attract serious buyers. Now, you're probably wondering, how much could a 1988 Washington quarter with an error or in great condition be worth? Well, depending on the rarity of the error and the coin's condition, some 1988 quarters have been known to sell for incredible amounts of money. In some cases, a rare 1988 Washington quarter can be worth as much as $64,000. Yes, that's right, $64,000. Imagine finding a coin that was made more than 30 years ago and realizing that it could bring you a life-changing amount of money. The rarity of certain mint errors combined with the coin's excellent condition can result in a price tag that far exceeds anything you'd expect from just a quarter. So, what should you be looking for when you're going through your spare change or inspecting a coin collection to see if you have one of these valuable quarters? The first thing to check is for any minting errors, especially the double die variety. Look for doubling in the letters of the word, Liberty, or the year, 1988. These subtle signs of error are what make the coin stand out among the millions of regular 1988 quarters. Additionally, inspect the overall condition of the coin. Is it well preserved with minimal scratches or discoloration? Does it look almost brand new? If so, you may have a coin that's worth far more than you ever imagined. While it's certainly rare to find a 1988 Washington quarter in such pristine condition or with a minting error, it's not impossible. Many collectors spend years searching for these types of rare coins, and with a bit of luck, you could be the one to strike gold. If you do find one, it's a good idea to have the coin professionally graded and authenticated by a numismatist or a coin grading service. Professional grading will provide an accurate assessment of the coin's value, and it will help you determine how much you can sell it for if you choose to part ways with it. Wrap it up. The 1988 Washington quarter is not just another coin from the past. While most 1988 quarters are worth only 25 cents, there are rare varieties and minting errors that can make these coins incredibly valuable. If you happen to find a 1988 Washington quarter with a double die error or in mint condition, it could be worth as much as $64,000. So, the next time you come across a 1988 quarter, take a moment to examine it closely. You could be holding on to a hidden treasure worth far more than you ever expected. Top 5. Today, we're going to take a deep dive into why the 1994 Washington quarter is so special and what makes certain versions of this coin incredibly valuable. The 1994 Washington quarter is part of the ongoing Washington quarter series that began in 1932. This series has seen multiple designs over the years, but by 1994, the coin was well established in circulation. Featuring George Washington on the obverse and an eagle on the reverse, this quarter seemed like just another everyday piece of currency. However, just because many of these coins were minted doesn't mean they all hold the same value. In fact, a small fraction of 1994 Washington quarters are incredibly rare, and finding one of these could mean a windfall. You might be wondering, what exactly makes the 1994 Washington quarter so valuable? The answer lies in minting errors and coin conditions that can make certain examples much rarer than others. The U.S. Mint produces millions of coins every year, but sometimes, errors occur during the minting process, resulting in coins with distinct flaws. These coins are incredibly sought after by collectors because they are rare and unique, and one such error found on the 1994 Washington quarter is the double die variety. Double die error occurs when a coin is struck multiple times by the die, causing a doubling effect in certain areas of the design. On a 1994 Washington quarter, this could result in the letters in Liberty, or even the date, 1994, appearing to be doubled. This doubling is subtle but noticeable, and it creates an image that is slightly offset from the original design, giving it a unique appearance. The rarer and more pronounced the doubling, the more valuable the coin becomes. These double die error coins are highly prized among numismatists, who often pay top dollar for them when they surface at auctions. But the value of the 1994 Washington quarter doesn't only depend on minting errors. Another crucial factor in determining its worth is its condition. Like any collectible, the quality of the coin plays a huge role in its value. Coins that are in mint condition, meaning they've been kept in excellent shape, with no visible wear or damage, are always worth more than those that show signs of use. A well-preserved 1994 Washington quarter with sharp details and little to no signs of wear could be worth a lot more than the average, worn-out quarters you find in circulation. Grading is the system used by coin collectors to determine the condition of a coin. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with a grade of 70 representing a perfect coin. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin becomes. For example, a 1994 Washington quarter that is graded as MS 65 or higher, mint state, 65 out of 70, will be worth significantly more than a coin with lower grades, especially if it's been in circulation for years. If your 1994 quarter is in near-perfect condition, it will appeal to collectors who are willing to pay a premium price. There's another important factor to keep in mind when determining the value of a coin: rarity. While millions of 1994 Washington quarters were minted, a small percentage of them are rare due to errors or exceptional quality. Coins with the double die error are especially rare, as they weren't produced in large quantities, and those that have been preserved in excellent condition are even rarer. The rarity of these coins is what makes them so valuable in the market. So, how much could your 1994 Washington quarter be worth? Depending on its condition and whether it has a minting error like the double die variety, it could be worth as much as $47,000. That's right, a quarter that you might dismiss as just another piece of change could be worth tens of thousands of dollars. While it's not common to come across a 1994 Washington quarter worth that much, it's important to remember that with the right combination of rarity and condition, you could be holding on to a highly valuable coin. If you think you might have a valuable 1994 Washington quarter, it's time to take a closer look. Check for any signs of a double die error, especially in the letters of Liberty or the date 1994. If you notice any doubling, you may have found a rare error coin that's worth far more than face value. You should also carefully examine the overall condition of the coin. Does it look almost brand new with minimal scratches or discoloration? If so, you may have a gem in your hands. The next step would be to have the coin professionally graded. A professional grading service can assess the condition of the coin and provide a grade, which will help determine its value more accurately. Additionally, these services can authenticate the coin, ensuring it's a legitimate error coin and not a counterfeit. Once graded, you'll have a better understanding of just how much your 1994 Washington quarter could be worth. In conclusion, the 1994 Washington quarter may appear to be just another piece of currency from the 1990s, but certain rare varieties and minting errors can make it worth a small fortune. If you find a 1994 Washington quarter with a double die error and it's in excellent condition, it could be worth as much as $47,000. So, before you toss that quarter into your pocket or jar, take a moment to inspect it carefully. You just might be holding on to a rare and valuable treasure.